I didn't know who scored the touchdown, but that was a good play right out of the gate. Really helped the momentum swing. And I felt he really played well in the first half of getting to the quarterback, getting to the run game, getting off blocks. And, I go to the defense, just looking at that, he's played well. But, when you look at linebackers, I always look at D linemen, even the D linemen I played with. My two guys' names were Booba and Bubba. So, but, they kept people off you. And right now we've got a guy named Xavier Williams who does a great job in the middle. And he's absorbing a lot of blocks for us. And if you got linebackers that can run and read, he can make some plays. And, both he and Jordan Gakey are playing well.
Can you explain on that touchdown play what exactly happened? The replays on the big screen, it looked like all of a sudden the ball was, the whistle just seemed like it never flew.
Well, it was an early fumble in the play. It fumbled out. It kind of, they all piled up on one side, squirted out the back side of the pile. And I believe what I saw what happened on film was Jake initially had it, and then he lost it. And then he had to go back and get it, and then he scored with it. So it was kind of a fumble, and it was kind of all in the scrum part of it where he couldn't see it, but the ball came out of Jake's hand, and when he went back and got it, that's why it was the knee down, not down was kind of the confusion. Well, the first time when he had it, but then he lost it, and then when he came back up with it, that's when we scored with it.
One other thing on the same, Tim, ejection, who actually reviews the film? Is there somebody in the league that it's their job to review the targeting and ejections and decide if it's legit or not?
Yep. My understanding of the rules and the way the officials work in all of college football, in the Big Ten, by the Big Ten officials, because we're underneath the same officiating heads of the Big Ten as they are in our division. And it all goes to Chicago, and they review everything. And any time in a Big Ten game that there's an ejection of this new rule, you immediately send that film in, and it gets reviewed that night, because they want, no matter how it was called, who called it, right or wrong, that has to be sent in. So they're trying to get a basis for consistency for this call. So you send it in to them, and then they review it, and then once they review it, they write their recommendations, what they saw, and then pass it on to a committee that decides what the final decision is, if it's going to be a penalty for next game, or if it's going to be just a penalty for that last particular game. And I believe there was 2 overturned last week of this penalty. So, they're kind of trying to get some validity and consistency to this call, because it is a new call, and I think it's a difficult call in some instances. So we'll just wait and see. Pardon me? Well, he got ejected for that particular game, since it was in the second half, he must sit the second half of the next game. If first half of the next game. So the ejection is for one full game. So since it happened in the second half, you're out for the first half of the next game, unless it gets overruled.